Despite the valiant efforts of medical professionals across the world, the novel coronavirus has taken a deadly toll. Untold numbers of people have lost their lives to the pandemic, including a few famous faces. These are some of the celebrities who have tragically died from coronavirus. Manu Dibango, a Cameroonian jazz artist whose celebrated career spanned decades, passed away from complications due to the coronavirus at the age of 86. The legendary multi-instrumentalist and songwriter died in a Paris hospital, according to a statement posted on his official Facebook page on March 24th. Dibango's 1973 hit Soul Mikasa inspired everyone from Michael Jackson, who used the song's refrain on Wanna Be Startin' Somethin', to Rihanna, who sampled the dance floor smash on her 2007 single Don't Stop the Music.
How can I say, vive le Kenya, vive l'Afrique. Long life to Kenya, long life to Africa.
Celebrity chef and international restaurateur Floyd Cardoz passed away from COVID-19 on March 25th at Mountainside Hospital in New Jersey. He was 59. The winner of Bravo's third season of Top Chef Masters, Cardoz admitted himself to the hospital on March 17th, having become ill after a trip to India. His last Instagram post was a selfie taken in the hospital the same day, in which he wrote, "I was feeling feverish and hence, as a precautionary measure, admitted myself into hospital in New York." The India-born chef's Manhattan restaurant Tabla elevated Indian-American modern cuisine like no other chef before him. In the wake of Cardoz's passing, fellow celebrity chef Andrew Zimmern tweeted, "I adored him, a great chef, groundbreaking in so many ways, a generous human, resilient of spirit and loved his family, his garden, and our restaurant world so much. I'm stunned." Five-time Tony Award winner Terrence McNally passed away due to complications from coronavirus on March 24th at the age of 81. The creative mind behind a number of hugely popular stage musicals, McNally routinely brought gay characters to mainstream audiences and wrote about homophobia and AIDS when those topics were still considered socially taboo. News of McNally's death led many Broadway stars to pay their respects. Hamilton creator Lin-Manuel Miranda tweeted, "Heartbroken over the loss of Terrence McNally, a giant in our world, who straddled plays and musicals deftly. Grateful for his staggering body of work and his unfailing kindness." Actor Patrick Wilson tweeted, "My first acting award at a one-act festival in high school. My first Tony nomination was for Full Monty. Both shows were written by Terrence McNally. He had a monumental impact on my career and will be missed. Rest in peace, my friend." McNally is survived by his husband, producer Tom Curtihy. Actor Mark Bloom died at the age of 69 on March 25th, having tested positive for COVID-19 a week prior. His wife of 15 years, Janet Zarish, said that Bloom suffered from asthma but had not knowingly been in contact with anyone else who had contracted the virus. Perhaps best known for his roles in Crocodile Dundee and Desperately Seeking Susan, Bloom also starred in a wide range of Broadway productions over the course of 40-plus years in showbiz. Following the news of his passing, the theater company Playwrights Horizons tweeted, "With love and heavy hearts, Playwrights Horizons pays tribute to Mark Bloom, a dear longtime friend and a consummate artist who passed this week. Thank you, Mark, for all you brought to our theater and to theaters and audiences across the world. We will miss you." Meanwhile, actress Rosanna Arquette, who starred in Desperately Seeking Susan alongside Bloom and Madonna in the mid-'80s, offered her condolences on Twitter, writing in part, "I'm so deeply sad for his family and for his fans. He was a wonderful actor and a very good and kind man." Country music singer Joe Diffie was diagnosed with COVID-19 on March 27th. In a statement released to Rolling Stone, the 61-year-old musician revealed, "I am under the care of medical professionals and currently receiving treatment. My family and I are asking for privacy at this time. We want to remind the public and all my fans to be vigilant, cautious, and careful during this pandemic." However, 2 days after the announcement, Diffie sadly passed away. Over the course of his career, Diffie released 4 gold and platinum albums, 17 top 10 hits, and sold more than 6 million records worldwide. He was best known for a string of 90s hits, including Pickup Man, Honky Tonk Attitude, Third Rock from the Sun, Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox, and John Deere Green. A number of Diffie's peers have since taken to social media to express their condolences. Trace Adkins called Diffie one of the all-time great vocalists, while Granger Smith wrote, "Here's to you, Pickup Man. You inspired an entire generation of country singers and accepted us all with kindness, gratitude, and buckets of talent." Actor Andrew Jack passed away from complications related to COVID-19 on March 31st. He was 76. His dialect coach wife, Gabrielle Rogers, announced the news on Twitter, writing in part, "Andrew Jack was diagnosed with coronavirus 2 days ago. He was in no pain, and he slipped away peacefully knowing that his family were all with him." Having most recently played Major Emat in the latest Star Wars trilogy, Jack was also a dialect coach and worked with A-list actors on major films, such as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Star Wars, and Avengers Endgame. At the time of his passing, he had been coaching Robert Pattinson for The Batman. Several stars have since reacted to Jack's passing on social media, including Lord of the Rings actors Elijah Wood and Sean Astin, and Star Wars director J.J. Abrams. Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO in Star Wars, tweeted, "He was a joy to be with on the new trilogy. As dialect coach, he helped the cast get it right through his talent and humor. As an actor, his distinguished features made him stand out in any scene." Fountains of Wayne co-founder and Emmy and Grammy-winning songwriter Adam Schlesinger passed away on April 1st at the age of 52. According to Variety, Schlesinger had been sedated on a ventilator in a New York hospital for several days after contracting coronavirus. In addition to his work with Fountains of Wayne, Schlesinger received Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, Golden Globe, and Tony nominations for his soundtrack work, most notably for writing the title track to Tom Hanks' 1997 film, That Thing You Do. He also nabbed 2 Emmys for the 150-plus songs he wrote for the CW series Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Stars who worked with Schlesinger on those projects paid their respects to the prolific songwriter on social media. Actor Ethan Embry tweeted, "I remember the day all the Wonders, Liv Tyler, and Tom Hanks sat in a room and played about 6 submitted tracks from different bands for That Thing You Do. When we heard Adam Schlesinger's cassette, it was instantly clear which track we would need to learn." Crazy Ex-Girlfriend star Rachel Bloom called him a genius and shared some of his work from the show. She also tweeted, "I have so much to say about Adam Schlesinger that I am at a complete loss for words. He is irreplaceable." New Orleans jazz legend and pianist Ellis Marsalis Jr. passed away on April 1st due to complications of COVID-19. He was 85 years old. His son, Branford Marsalis, said in a statement, "It is with great sadness that I announce the passing of my father, Ellis Marsalis Jr. My dad was a giant of a musician and teacher, but an even greater father. He poured everything he had into making us the best of what we could be." During his tenure as a teacher at the New Orleans Center for the Creative Arts, Marsalis taught such notable future musicians as film composer Terrence Blanchard and pianist Harry Connick Jr. He was also named a jazz master by the National Endowment for the Arts in 2011, which is considered the highest honor for an American jazz musician. Marsalis is also the patriarch of one of the country's greatest musical families, including 4 sons with illustrious careers, one of whom is 9-time Grammy-winning trumpeter Wynton Marsalis. Jazz guitarist John "Bucky" Pizzarelli died on April 1st at the age of 94 due to COVID-19. His son and fellow jazz guitarist John Pizzarelli told the Morristown Daily Record, "There will be some kind of tribute as soon as we can all get within 6 feet of each other." The New Jersey Hall of Fame member and virtuoso guitarist performed for multiple presidents at the White House during his 8-decade career, backing the likes of Paul McCartney and Frank Sinatra. Pizzarelli also served in Doc Severinson's Tonight Show band when Johnny Carson was still taping his show in New York City. His son said, "Doc asked him to go with them to California, but he said he wanted to stay here." John Pizzarelli went on to say, "He was the ultimate sideman. He wasn't looking to be the guy out in front of the band. He was happy to be inside the band, supporting the whole organization."
Yeah, when it clicks, the sparks start flying around, and that's what we like.
Pizzarelli is survived by his wife, their 4 children, and 4 grandchildren. Jaws actress Lee Fierro died from complications of COVID-19 at an Ohio assisted living facility at the age of 91. While she trained as a theater actress, Fierro was perhaps best known to the masses for her scene-stealing role as the grieving mother who slapped Roy Scheider's Chief Brody in Steven Spielberg's 1975 hit flick. Fierro spent much of her life on Martha's Vineyard, teaching drama to over 1,000 children at the Island Theater Workshop over the course of 4 decades. According to theater's artistic director Kevin Ryan, "The one word I would think of when I think of Lee is dedication. I've watched her as a performer, director, and businesswoman, and then we became friends. She was my teacher and mentor. She was fiercely dedicated to the mission of teaching. She, no matter what it was, would stay at it and get the job done." Actor Jay Benedict passed away from coronavirus on April 4th at 68 years old. With over 120 on-screen credits to his name, Benedict was known for his roles in Aliens and The Dark Knight Rises, among many others. After the news of his passing broke, Benedict's longtime friend, Pierce Brosnan, paid tribute to the actor on Instagram. He wrote, "Life was so much fun with Jay. On stage and off, we laughed a lot at the world around us. At ourselves, saw the funny side of life always. He was a courageous man of handsome life force that shone its light in every room he walked into." Benedict is survived by his wife, Phoebe Schofield, and their sons, Freddie and Leopold. Legendary country folk singer-songwriter John Prine passed away due to complications from the coronavirus in Nashville on April 7th at the age of 73. The multiple Grammy winner was hospitalized and intubated in late March, according to his family. A favorite of such icons as Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan, and Chris Christopherson, Prine was called the Mark Twain of American songwriting by Rolling Stone and influenced countless songwriters over the course of his illustrious career. As the news of his death spread, countless music legends paid their respects. Bruce Springsteen tweeted, "Over here on E Street, we are crushed by the loss of John Prine. John and I were new Dylans together in the early 70s, and he was never anything but the loveliest guy in the world. A true national treasure and a songwriter for the ages. We send our love and prayers to his family." Meanwhile, Bonnie Raitt tweeted, "Words can't even come close. I'm crushed by the loss of my dear friend John. My heart and love go out to Fiona and all the family. For all of us whose hearts are breaking, we will keep singing his songs and holding him near."
When I get to heaven, I'm going to shake God's hand. I'm going to thank him for more blessings than one man can stand.
Prine is survived by his wife, 2 sons, a stepson, and 3 grandchildren. Music producer and longtime Saturday Night Live sketch music producer Hal Willner died from complications due to the novel coronavirus on April 7th. He was 64. In addition to his work on SNL, Willner produced music for Lou Reed and Marianne Faithfull and helped launch the career of Jeff Buckley. Tributes to Willner from his SNL family poured in as news broke. Former cast member Julia Louis-Dreyfus tweeted, "Absolutely devastated to get this news about my weird and lovely pal Hal. We are heartbroken." Lou Reed's official Twitter account also wrote, "Earlier today, Hal Willner passed away. Hal was one of Lou's dearest friends, and his sudden departure is a heavy blow. Please keep his family in your thoughts. If you can, light a candle for Hal. Please stay home and stay safe." Cinematographer and frequent Steven Spielberg collaborator Alan Davia died of coronavirus complications on April 15th while under care at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital. The 5-time Academy Award nominee was 77. Speaking with Deadline, CEO of the Motion Picture and Television Fund Bob Beecha said, "Alan was diagnosed about a week ago. In the last few days, as his condition went downhill and it was clear that he wasn't going to survive, his friends and healthcare advocates and our staff worked to bring him back to MPTF because he wanted to die at home. This had been his home for the last 8 years." In a statement given to Deadline, Davia's old friend and colleague Steven Spielberg said, "In 1968, Alan and I started our careers side by side with the short film Amblin. Alan was a wonderful artist, but his warmth and humanity were as powerful as his lens. He was a singular talent and a beautiful human being." The famed producer-director had also sent Davio a letter recounting their years of friendship together, which was read to Davio several times prior to his passing. British film actress Hilary Heath passed away on March 30th due to COVID-19 complications. She was 74. Heath's godson broke the news in a Facebook post. He wrote, "We lost my wonderful godmother Hilary Heath to COVID-19 last week. She was a force of nature, and I can't bear it that she is no longer with us." Heath, working under her maiden name Hilary Dwyer, starred in several horror films alongside screen icon Vincent Price before transitioning into producing. In this capacity, she helped bring films like 1995's An Awful Big Adventure and 1997's Nil by Mouth to the screen, working with some of the most prolific actors and actresses of the 1990s. Heath is survived by her daughter and her son, film composer Daniel Heath. In his Facebook post, Heath's godson wrote, "Her most remarkable reinvention came in her mid-60s when she won a master's degree from Oxford in psychology and became an addiction counselor, specializing in CBT. She worked at clinics all over the world, often for free, often with very deprived and distressed individuals, and she regarded this as her most valuable work by far." Veteran character actor Alan Garfield died from COVID-19 complications on April 7th. He was 80 years old. Garfield had been living at the Motion Picture and Television Fund Home Retirement Facility since suffering his second stroke in 2004. Born Alan Gurwitz, the actor was a former Golden Gloves boxer and sports journalist who eventually pivoted to acting in the late 60s after studying under Lee Strasberg at Legendary Actor Studio. In a television interview, he once shed some light on his time as a trainee actor.
I audaciously stepped out and said who I was, for better or for worse.
Yes.
And I put my stamp on things as an actor and as a director.
Garfield's intense energy and authenticity served him well over his 40-year career, scoring him numerous roles in a range of hit movies and shows, from The West Wing to Beverly Hills Cop 2. He is survived by his sister, Lois Gurwitz. Veteran voice actress Julie Bennett died on March 31st at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. She was 88. In a statement, Bennett's agent said, "She was definitely a personality and a throwback to Hollywood glamour." After attending Beverly Hills High School, Bennett returned to her hometown of New York City to hone her craft with stage work, radio soaps, and television dramas. However, after heading back to Los Angeles and nabbing a number of small roles in Hollywood, Bennett found her true calling, voiceover acting. Best known for voicing Cindy Bear in The Yogi Bear Show, Bennett went on to lend her voice talents to all kinds of animated hits, from The Bugs Bunny Show to Spider-Man the Animated Series. Roy Horn of the Las Vegas act Siegfried and Roy passed away from COVID-19 complications on May 8th. The legendary performer was 75. In a statement, Horn's colleague and friend Siegfried Fischbacher said, Today, the world has lost one of the greats of magic, but I have lost my best friend. From the moment we met, I knew Roy and I together would change the world. There could be no Siegfried without Roy, and no Roy without Siegfried. Fellow Las Vegas magician and illusionist Chris Angel tweeted his respects, writing, "Thank you for your kindness, inspiration, and friendship. You paved the road and will forever be missed." MGM Resorts, which owns the Mirage, where Siegfried and Roy performed for over a decade, also honored the iconic performer. Their official account tweeted, "The world lost a legendary figure with the passing of Roy Horn. His story and the story of Siegfried and Roy are larger than life. Our hearts go out to Roy's family and friends, and most notably to Siegfried, who shared a lifetime of magic and friendship with this special man."